Oh,
technically, we've already started.
I've already started.
It's been recording for 2 minutes and 30 seconds. Yeah.
Just chatting shit.
Yeah, just chatting shit.
Yeah.
It's just, well, it's easy once you can sort of see like a general conversation to see the waveform, to see who's louder than everybody else. Or
Yeah.
just, it's just one of those things. Yeah. Do you have anything specific that you want to talk about?
No, not really. I mean, just here for shits and gigs.
Sweet.
But yeah, I like a unit. Like I was saying earlier, a unit's massive, really. Like, you can't see how big it is on camera.
Yeah.
But you could easily fit, 10 motors in here at a push. You could squeeze them all in. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's
If
decent
they're all
size.
on top of each other, definitely. Yeah.
Now you've got a ramp in, you could probably stick one underneath and on top.
Mm.
Yeah. That's the plan when we do the floor.
Yeah.
I'm going to do a resin coating on the floor, which should be fun.
That'll be
That's
nice.
the next big thing, isn't it?
Mm.
Yeah. So thank you very much for tuning in. This is actually episode 2 of the Bustin' Up podcast because fucked up on the one that was supposed to come out last Wednesday. So this one's episode 2. But thank you very much for joining us. If you are joining us, we've got a special guest today. There is 4 of us here, but you're only going to hear 3 at a time because we've only got the 3 microphones. Paul is sat behind me, being a pain as per usual. So for the moment, you have Liam, GIBBO, and our special guest Dan. How are you doing?
I'm
You
good. I'm good.
Good stuff.
You boys all right? You all good?
Spotty dog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cannot complain at all.
Yeah. So we already know that your drive down was a bit crap.
It was a bit crap.
Yeah.
This stupid Range Rover driver, unfortunately, decided to plough into the side of a van and caused a big backlog of traffic. So an hour journey turned into nearly 2 hours, which were a bit crap. But
Yeah. Well, it
One of
happens,
them.
doesn't it? It
How
happens.
inconsiderate.
I know. Yeah. Yeah.
it's always a van.
Aye. It's always a fun.
Yeah. So the episode that we actually did record another episode last night,
Yeah.
which is going to come out after this one, which is the MR2 one. And we spent a lot of time not talking about cars.
Right.
So we're just going to dive straight into it, like car history from the very beginning. What was your first car?
My first car, my dad bought me a 1.4 Vauxhall Astra. And it wasn't the like boxy one that looked like the CRX. It was the one after that. It was just like a big bubble.
Oh yeah.
So it was that shape.
Yeah.
It were a 4-door. It were green. It was the worst thing I've ever seen in my life. And I was so happy when I found out I couldn't get insured on it because it was like $6,000 to insure it. So I never actually drove it. I only ever drove it around Macro car park in Leeds. Just practicing like parking and stuff like that with my old man in passenger seat shouting at me.
Yeah.
But yeah, I still have fond memories of learning to drive in that, if you like, biting point and hill starts and stuff like that, and just reversing the car parking spaces. After that, I had a 1 litre Polo, a little Polo coupe. Remember the Mark II Polos? And they did the facelift
yeah.
with square headlights.
Yeah.
So I had one of them. Started working at a body shop. I took my bumpers into the body shop, got them colour coded. I thought, yeah, it looks badass. And it was just about at that turnover when everybody who started thinking really old cars were cool. But I was too early, so I just looked like a tramp. So,
Get it.
so I had this proper crap car for my first car, and I remember I used to think that I was the shit. And I used to pull up. My missus plays rugby. So
Fantastic.
read into that what you want. She's tiny. At the time, she was like, size 8, little petite blonde thing running around a rugby pitch getting smashed. She ended up getting scouted for England, and I thought I was cool as fuck. Laying down on my car bonnet, head against windscreen, watching her playing rugby.
God.
That was me as a teenager in a nutshell.
Oh, fantastic. That is
Spot on.
None of the gear, all the idea.
the best story to start on. So after the Polo, what came next?
After the Polo, I got the EG.
So
And I kept the EG for ages. I've still got it. It's rusting away. It's incomplete. Fuck, it's just fucked. Can I swear on this, by the way? 'Cause I swear like fuck.
Yeah, why not?
Do as you wish.
So was that where the Honda obsession started then?
Well, Honda obsession started when I was like young.
All right.
So Honda obsession started with my old man. I remember this really vividly because I blue balled my dad getting a CRX. So we went into an auction.
Yeah.
And this CRX jet black 1616 engine, so not the VTEC, but the one below. And he's like, "Oh, do you reckon that, Danny?" And it was jet black, it looked mint. And I was like, I can't fit in back of there. I'm 13, I'm going on 6 foot now. And I was thinking to myself, I can't fit in back of there. Proper lanky teenager. And my mum looked at it and she was like, "He's not getting in there, Paul." So, so that was that. Convinced my dad, or should I say convinced my mum to convince my dad that we weren't getting a CRX, and he got a Rover 416 GTI instead.
No.
Which
Nice.
just so happened to have the same engine. I didn't know that.
Did they have the same engine?
Yeah,
Oh,
416
right.
GTI, 216 GTI, and
Get
the
in.
SLI had the single over a cam D series in it.
Aye.
So you got one of them on a G Reg,
Yeah.
G45 Summit HSX, I think it was. It's not knocking about anymore; it's dead. But
Made of Alka-Seltzer around there. As soon as they rain at them, they just dissolve.
got some original factory rust. I saw a sticker on a Mini that said that original rust from the factory still on this car or something like that.
Fantastic.
But yeah, so that's when my Honda obsession started. Like my old man was mad into Hondas. He ended up working for Honda in Street Lane Honda Garage or something it was. I remember him telling me all the stories. He worked on a few at CRX Cup cars and stuff like that. And naturally, I just got mad into cars.
Yeah.
Ended up really getting into like Hondas and like the technology with like VTEC and stuff like that, and how well made the engines were and everything. I mean, I was looking at a Rover, so I could tell instantly the how well the Rover was made in comparison to the engine and box. Do you know what I mean? Like it were night and day. And yeah, it just went from there really. Ended up getting rid of that and got a EP3 Civic Type R on an 02 reg. It's still knocking about. It's a YB02 ETT. And that, he got that when it first came out. I were in high school. So again, I thought it was cool as fuck rocking up at high school in a brand new Type R. So that's when the Honda obsession proper started with me.
Brilliant.
Good stuff. So cars now then, what is your garage looking like at the moment?
Oh, I wish I had a fucking garage. So when we were house hunting, I said I want at least a drive that goes outside the house. Yeah. And that's what I ended up getting.
Oh. There you go.
You wanted a garage, she wanted to drive, and you compromised and you got to drive.
I got to drive, yeah. So I ain't got a garage. I ended up getting a nice long drive. You can fit 4 cars on it. But thankfully, I'm really close to my old man's, so I can still work on my old man's drive. My old man's bought a unit as well over the road from house, which the white EG's sat in.
Right.
So at the minute, I've got 3 Civics. I've got a red one that's just rusted out in bits. That was H swapped, polybushed everything, anti-roll bars, DC2 rack, coilovers, everything was touched. I ripped everything out of it and then just put the interior back in. It weighed 960 on scale. Full straight through exhaust, HKS intake, 80mm pipes. I've got to put on it 70mm throttle body. I've got a ported intake manifold to stick on it. And delete all the plenums and everything like that, the extra throttle bodies, if you like, in there. I fit, when I did the cam belt with my old man, we fit the H22A7 cams in it. Deleted the balance shafts by just cutting the belt, which is now I found out very dodgy, but
If it
it's
works,
worked.
it works, yeah.
It's worked. It's done about 20,000 miles and now it's just rotted out.
Aye.
I've got a white one that ideally will be done up, and that's going to be like my build goals in cars. Like I'm collecting like pictures and stuff on Instagram to make that what I want to make it. And then I've got my EM1, the Civic Coupe budget build that I'm doing at the minute on YouTube. And I'm just sort of adding little bits to that just to try and make it into the car that I wanted when I was playing Need for Speed Underground as a teenager.
That's a good motivation to do a car. That's fantastic.
I used to have a white EG.
White EG.
Yeah, I had a red coupe.
Yeah.
With a B16 in it, and I crashed that.
So not that one.
No. Took the engine out of that, put it in a white EG.
Yeah.
It was a, I can't remember the reg of that one now. I can't remember.
Mine's a K.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh,
White.
Yeah.
You want a JDM import with it?
No, I don't think so.
Right.
Did it make its way to Scotland, do you know?
It went to Kendal.
Kendal. All right. Okay.
Kendal is where it went to. Some lad had visions of doing it up and so on. But yeah, they did. I loved it. once I built it and so on, and then the centre of a spark plug, the spark plug snapped and the centre went into the bore,
Oh, no.
scratched it and started smoking. So I was like, let's go in this, let's go in the journey. And then what did I end up with after that? Oh, me Saab on it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
yeah,
was
the
Saab,
Saab.
yeah.
The Saab.
So what other cars have you got at the minute?
That's it. We've got them 3. My old man's got quite a few knocking about. He's got a Prelude like Paul's got. I think I mentioned that in one of your videos, and I was leaving comments. That's his daily driven LPG converted, but it is a VTI, so he uses it every day. Gets like 50 miles per gallon out of it, or the equivalent. And he loves that to bits. It's getting a bit rotten now. He's just recently done a HRV, welded like all arches and sills and stuff into it. He bought that for like 300 quid just to weld up and sell. He's also got a Mark 1 Civic. Another funny story about Mark 1 Civic and when I first got my Civic. So I'm going to go off on a tangent again.
Go for it.
My old man had a red NREG Honda Civic as his second car. Which, if you discount the Astra, it was my second proper car as well. You know, when I had the Polo and then moved on to the red NREG Honda Civic. On the second week, he told me a story that he crashed his car, absolutely got annihilated by some pensioner in something else, like an Austin or something. So that was the second weekend that he owned that car. So I had as my second car a red NREG Honda Civic. I did not fucking touch my car all weekend. I just didn't. I'm not really like what would you call that? I've gone blank now.
Superstitious.
Yeah, I'm not really like superstitious, but I just didn't want to fucking risk it because I loved it that much. So he's got a Mark 1 Honda Civic in the garage. It's not obviously that one, but he's got another one. It's like that metallic bronze colour that they brought out back in day. It's like a 1974 or 1975 or something. So that's like in my granddad's garage tucked away. And he also recently bought a Honda Beat in yellow.
All right. Okay.
So the little, for those that don't know, the little 660cc K car, little 5-speed manual, revs to fucking oblivion. Yeah. And that is fun as fuck. It's just so fun.
You wanted one of them, didn't you?
Yeah. The problem is as you can probably tell, I'm a larger gentleman.
Yeah.
So in that, it would look like a clown car. It would be awful.
I'd be wearing it.
Yeah. Yeah. They are small, but I've heard really good things about them.
It's weird because the driver's side is like normal width, but the passenger side is proper narrow. So you'd probably be able to fit in it, to be fair. It might be a bit of a squeeze, but the driver's side's a lot wider than the passenger side in that particular car. But yeah, with it being like mid-engine rear-wheel drive, and just because it revs so high, it feels like it's got grip for days because of how light it is. It's just so fun. It's ridiculously fun.
The only problem is we like to travel together every now and again. So I don't see it working out very well.
I feel like there's more to you two than meets the eye, to be fair. Like we were saying that as well, and he blushed.
I'm just warm now. I wish I'd never put my hoodie back on. No, we've been thick as thieves for years, haven't we?
Yeah, we school together.
Yeah,
and so on. So nigh on maybe 12 years,
something like
12, 15 years, something like that.
It's a long time.
It's been a long time.
That's one thing I've never had. I've never had like a close friend that's been like really into cars. I've always been like solo or like working with my old man. Do you know what I mean? Like with my dad. So I've never really had a friend that I've been able to like bounce ideas off of and work with on cars and stuff like that. Like one of my best mates got mad into bikes.
All right.
And his older brother, Scott, he ended up getting like really into cars, ended up being a mechanic. But is too under-thumb, unfortunately, to mess about on motors and stuff like that. Which, fair play to him, he loves his missus, do you know what I mean? But just unfair on me.
Yeah.
You feel cheated.
Bros before hoes. That's the way to be.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. But the thing is, with becoming a mechanic, when you want to do stuff like this, it's...
They always have shit cars, don't they? That's my old man. Like, my old man were a mechanic, and his car were always second to everyone else's that he were govying on or doing work on. And you end up hating cars almost, or hating working on cars almost, don't you? So when he went into office, which is when he got his Type R, he started working on cars more then, and that's when I ended up like making stuff.
That's the thing. If I had the option to become a mechanic, I probably still wouldn't take it, because I know for a fact if you turn your hobby into a job, you end up hating it.
Yeah,
at the end of the day, you're always gonna. So it's unfortunate, but
there
you go. We just learn what we do from just having a go. To be honest,
it's best way. To be honest, I never learned how to be a mechanic.
No,
I did level 3 body repairs because I thought it was going to be a bit more money in that because my dad's always skin. But then when he went into office, he ended up doing like a fleet job. He ended up getting a bit more doshing and company car came with it and stuff. But yeah, I didn't want to go into mechanics. Really, I just sort of went into bodywork because I just like cars. Do you know what I mean? And then I ended up losing my apprenticeship in recession, which was shit.
Yeah.
But it's one of them. Like they let me go because I wanted the skill that they expected. But I was still in college, a day a week, every week, and they ended up letting me go in 2009 just because the money wasn't coming in as well as it could have done. Our last one in, so first one back out. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That was a bit crap.
I think you had a very similar sort of experience, didn't you?
Yeah,
with plumbing.
With plumbing, I went through about 3 companies, I think, doing my apprenticeship.
Did you? Bloody hell! You fully fledged now, like?
Yeah, but I wanted to get my gas when I was doing my apprenticeship.
Yeah.
Then on the last company that I went with to finish it off, it was all biomass, so we didn't do any gas.
Oh no!
So I didn't end up getting it. So I've just stuck with biomass now. It's much easier. You need absolutely no qualifications.
Reassuring.
Yeah, tell me about it.
Yeah,
it's all about just the experience. To be fair.
Oh no!
But there's many of us who are experienced in it, but
I'd hope so.
Well,
I've heard it sets on fire. That stuff.
Well, it's not just the fire you want to worry about; it's the explosions.
That's what I mean. Yeah.
Aye.
Be a bit out of hand.
Absolutely. So, any plans with the H22 EG?
So when that red one, it's off road. It's never getting MOT'd again because it won't go through one. I know a good MOT tester. I'll put it that way. But when I last took it for an MOT, it needed welding then. And I did, I got it all welded, took it for a retest as far as everybody knows.
Yeah.
But everything's going to go out of that red one into the white one. I've had some mad ideas. I was talking to, you mentioned him on last podcast, been talking to Jay, did this about what I want to do with it. And I've always really looked at, you guys know like Magnus and Walker?
Yeah.
With a Porsche, and it's like cafe racer sort of style, sort of themed. I've always wanted to do something like that because I think it's just like a really timeless sort of design.
Yeah,
I've always loved like the Kanjo races as well. You guys know those in Japan, so I want to do the EG mad basically. I want to go wide body Panda rocket style, rocket bunny style body kit. I want to go mad with that.
Yeah,
I want to give it like cafe style racer decals, so it was kind of like a show Kanjo cafe racer style. I just want to go mental basically and make something that looks like something I need for speed.
Yeah.
Don't know why.
Perfect.
We're going a bit mad with this thing. We're gonna have a go at painting it ourselves, aren't we, T?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
We're gonna give it a go. Paint the bay a different colour as well.
Nice.
No, it's not.
No.
It's not gonna go well.
Gonna give it a go though.
Yeah. Why not?
Yeah.
It's the only way to learn, isn't it?
I'm going to be welding my own, and I've not really done welding on cars since I was an apprentice at 17 years old.
Yeah.
So that's not going to go well either.
I've never been taught any welding. I've just had a go, and to be honest, I'm going cack on.
But if you don't try,
You
you
get
don't
better,
learn, do you?
Yeah.
It's getting there. Like, don't get me wrong, there's some parts that are getting there, but it's about cutting enough metal out.
Yeah.
And thinking, that'll do, and then you end up blowing a hole, and
you never took enough out because it's not.
Yeah,
it's not
so
thick
you're
enough.
just
It's
chasing
not
a hole half a mile long.
Yeah,
but we get there in the end.
I was saying earlier to Paul, I was doing that with my Polo. Found out I had a rear quarter done at some point, and we got it. My first car, by the way, cost £270. So you can imagine the state we're in. My first proper car, the Polo. So when we cut the rear quarter, when the rear quarter was cut out of that, I don't think they'd like seam sealed it from the inside out, so it was rusting from the inside out. We went to weld it back up, and we were just chasing it for ages. So we just ended up fiberglass in it and leaving it.
That's the way to do it.
It was hard enough for an MOT.
Yeah.
That's all that matters.
Yep.
Yeah, it's all good when they don't have to last too long.
Yeah.
Well, that is true.
I always want cars to last forever, though, me. I've got a proper bad thing about letting cars go, me.
I've had similar.
So I'm not so bad. No,
I think I've got PTSD because
maybe that's it. Yeah, maybe you should go and see someone.
Well, I let my first proper car go. Obviously, you can imagine all the fond memories I had with my missus. So,
I hope she's not watching.
Oh, she will be. So, the first car, if you like, I ended up selling it to a mate at work. I needed a banger a run around. I just got it MOT'd for him, as you do. And he just needed it as a run around for a year. So like, when you come in to sell it, let me know. He didn't let me know. He scrapped it. I didn't find out from him. I found out from seeing it in a scrapyard.
Oh no!
Do you know what I mean? So like,
actually, to be
my
fair,
car, it were underneath a Passat.
oh, that's underneath a Passat as well. I found out when I sold my Accord, the chap at Endless Horizon who bought that.
Yeah.
I sort of knew that he was going to scrap it. And I'd said to him, just send us a few. And he sent me a few pictures of like, because he tightened it up a little bit. And then just one day, he just sent me a picture of this EG.
Oh, no.
Yeah. And, yeah.
Saddening times. It's a shame, really.
That's the only one I felt bad about.
That was a pretty clean Accord, really.
It was alright.
They rust from factory, though, don't they?
Oh yeah.
Well, as we found out.
Yeah.
As we found out. I mean, I did.
That's why there's so many H-swap Civics.
Yeah. I spent a lot of time welding, like, the back end of it.
Yeah.
And I avoided taking the front wings off.
Just in case you couldn't physically put them back on.
No, it's not so much that. I was just avoiding it, wasn't I? I was just
in denial.
I was in denial. Really, I was like, it won't be too bad under there. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. We moved it from the barn to over here, and then I was like, look, we need to do this.
Yeah.
So we took it off, and that was the end of that. Like, the underneath of the front rails was just knackered.
So
I'm not putting any more hours into that.
My cousin bought an Accord Type R, and that's going to be the motor that's going into his H-swap EG. So, long story, he wanted to make like a car very similar to mine as like a tribute car to my other cousin, his older brother. Passed away, type 1 diabetes, got the better of him, passed out. That. So we wanted to make like a tribute car towards him. He proper grafted on it, to be fair, and he was grafted on it for so long. And the engine that car got, if you like, it came from his Accord. And I remember it broke down, the Accord, and we tried towing it away. And as the car set off, it just pulled like this massive fucking lump of rust with it, and the car just stayed still.
No.
Dunk. So we went to find, and you know how thick like the towing parts are of cars, don't you? Like just absolutely like centimetre thick steel almost. It was just the part where we'd hooked the car to were perfectly fine, and the part that met the lower rail, if you like, the subframe or whatever it was, that it just pulled off, and it was like cardboard. It was just like flaking away in your hand, and it was proper thick steel, like just flaking away. It was so bad. So that ended that. It broke down. We found out how bad it was underneath.
I think if I'd have towed my Accord, the front end had probably come off. It just split apart at the bulkhead. It was that bad.
I'm surprised it didn't fall apart when we put it on the recovery truck, to be honest.
Absolutely.
There'll have definitely been some flex there.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
So was that sort of that whole H22 thing, was that how you came about putting an H22 in the EG? Well, because it's interesting that you've gone H22 and not a lot of people in the UK do.
So it were basically funds. Funds and how well it performed in the US market for like quarter mile sort of stuff. Like you could see that just putting a H in an EG just made it a 13-second car straight away.
Yeah.
Low 13s, but if you stripped everything out, you could get to mid. If you put slicks on, you could possibly get to low 13s. But so as you do, I'm sure you guys do, you end up looking at car parts for hours on end to make sure you bought the right spark plug. Do you know what I mean? Like it's that bad sometimes, isn't it?
Yeah.
So I did that with every part that I ever bought on the EG, and I was looking at all the cost of the K-swap stuff, and I was just like, Jesus Christ. And at the time I was trying to save for a house. I was looking at what else were I looking at? I was looking at just a B swap because it were a D15 at the time. And I was thinking, do I just B18C for it from the the UK VTI, the 1.8 VTI? And I was thinking, that's cheap. But then I was looking at H swaps, what was involved, and it was a bit more pricey than a B. Bit quicker though, a bit more torque, more drivable, all that sort of stuff. And looking at all the US market stuff, that sort of sold it to me as well. And then I came across, I'm not kidding you, the H22A, so it was the Mark IV Prelude engine, just the JDM import one, closed deck as well. I came across that, and I knew all the specs of it because I've been looking at all this crap for so long.
Yeah.
And I thought I could H23 swap that. I could put a bigger crank on it and all the rest of it. All this is going through my head, and I looked at the price of it on eBay when I came across scrolling just through Honda engines or that broad of a search at the time. I came across it was £275 engine, all ancillaries, intake, exhaust manifold. It came with a flywheel, gearbox, like everything. The flywheel were a Fidanza lightweight aluminium flywheel. I got it for £275 delivered to my house.
That's a bargain.
You've done extremely well.
Yeah.
It came with wiring loom and everything.
Considering how much they usually go for, is unbelievable.
That was like 7 years back when nobody even looked at Preludes.
Yeah.
But I couldn't believe it. And it came with everything. The worst bit was splicing the D series loom with the H loom, and I've never got the fans to work, so I'm going to end up putting them on a switch.
Nobody likes that. But that was so the same with my Accord. We did that on my Accord because we couldn't get the fans to work.
That's why I'm going with. I'm going to try and get a B series loom for doing that.
VTEC loom's what you want. Even like a D16Z6 or just some at VTEC.
Somewhere along those lines, and then I can just the only main thing is jump in the alternator wiring.
Yeah.
Which now I need to extend anyway, but I'd rather not have to.
That were a problem in mine.
Yeah.
I found out because my alternator went that the alternator wasn't charging for ages, and it just ended up draining my battery. But no warning light came on my dash because there's 3 wires that comes out of a D series alternator and 4 wires that comes out of a H series alternator. One of them's like the low voltage, and that gives all your signals for whether it's working or not, and illuminates lights on dash, and it also makes your little clock in your dashboard work, and none of that's how it works. So I ended up breaking down and finding out that that's also part of that particular system.
That's a way to find out, though. Yeah. I suppose you know when something's wrong when it just stops.
Yeah, definitely.
That's the way.
It's the way to do it.
Find out.
Yeah, plan on getting this. I don't know. I can't say when I'm going to get it finished, but it's one that I plan on actually finishing.
What's happening with that Volvo? Because that Volvo looks mint.
It is a Volvo 340.
Yeah.
Max's Volvo 340.
Max's Volvo 340.
You say it's got a Williams engine in it, Renault.
Yeah. So it's a Clio Williams engine. Well, it started out as a 1.4 with 29 horsepower. So then it's a.
You said it still went sideways when I was talking to you about it.
It did. It also, on track, it kept up with Clio 182s.
Yeah.
Stuff like that around the Teesside Autodrome. Just because he never had to lift off.
No.
So he just sticks like shit to a blanket. It's unbelievable.
It's going to be dead good
cool
when it's done. Yeah.
It looks
we'll
cool
have to. I don't think the front end of the bonnet's attached, so we'll have to be careful, but we'll show you before you leave. Because he's got the supercharger mounted now.
Yeah, I've seen supercharger. Lifted bonnet up for me.
We've got intercooler mounted and a few other bits and bobs, but he's just having some alloy bits welded up, and then it'll be good to go.
What made you choose? Well, what made Kyle? Is it? How come he chose the Renault? Max. How come he chose the Renault engine?
He's seen it done before on a few cars.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's seen it done before. I mean, he wanted more power.
Yeah.
The good thing is with the gearbox being at the back, it's a bit not too. Well, also the 1.7 engines that they used to come with, they're practically a Renault engine.
Right, all right. So does it just bolt up to casing then? To gearbox casing?
So you had to get the 1.7 bell housing, and then it's just a bell housing.
So it's a bolt-on engine swap?
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
That's actually mental.
So
now I know why it's got a Renault engine.
Yeah. So he had to change the sump for a 1.7 Volvo one.
Because of angle maybe, or...
No, that's just for the engine mounts.
All right.
It's on the sump.
It's on the sump?
Yeah, fits straight on.
That's the weirdest engine mount I've ever heard.
Yeah, it is weird.
All it is just got a bell housing with an output shaft.
Yeah.
And then it goes through the prop shaft to the gearbox.
That's
it. It's brilliant. Brilliant swap.
It's mad that a Renault engine just fits how old Volvo.
Yeah.
Well, to be fair, I think there's a lot of things that would fit in that. There's so much space in that engine bay.
I said that earlier to GIBBO. I was saying there's loads of space in there. I was thinking like a Volvo with a Saab B204 or something like that, which is an engine I've only just learnt about, to be fair.
Max was telling me there's one with an LS, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, V8
LS. One of them.
There's an LS in everything.
Yeah, absolutely.
Anything ever. You could probably quite easily stick a Saab lump in it. Because Yeah, Saabs is. We've done Saabs now, though. We're not going back to Saabs.
No, we're not
That's
going
not
back to
happening.
Saabs. We had enough of
that's not
Saabs.
happening.
Are they too bad?
Yeah, they're just finicky.
Yeah.
Are
Yeah, I mean, some people love them. It's like anything. Some people love them. Some people hate
Yeah.
them. For me, personally, they're just too close to Vauxhall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They are very Marmite.
Yeah.
Marmite
Marmite car, yeah.
Yeah.
But they can be fun.
Mhm.
I had my Saab was a 1.9 diesel.
Yeah.
I ended up getting a full straight through exhaust and a remap and so on. I think it was 210 horse it came out or something.
Mm-hmm.
It,
Was Austin a remap? That's not bad to be fair.
No.
I had no boxes. So
Yeah.
it was loud and annoying, but
Straight pipe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was a nice enough car to be fair. And I kept getting phone calls after I'd sold it saying, "You just raced me." No,
Nope.
I sold the car. Like, oh, I've just seen it going sideways around the roundabout. I was like, oh well, they're doing well then.
Yeah. You know, it went to a good owner when
Yeah.
they're
Oh,
treating
yes.
it right.
Absolutely,
Mm.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Then one of our mates bought it, didn't he?
Yeah.
Well, do we know?
Yeah.
It's pretty
Oh,
good. I've just seen as well that flashlight on the H. Flashlight, fanny mould.
Oh,
right.
right.
Yeah.
Manifold.
Yeah.
Me Chinglish.
I can't see that from here. To be fair, there's a post
That's
in the
very
way.
shiny.
Yeah. Premium grade Chinesium.
Chineseium.
Premium
Rare
grade.
alloy.
Oh, it's got the build quality of the Titanic, man.
Aye.
I swear to God.
It looks very shiny.
It looks very shiny, but it's
It'll go
it's
nice
a 15
blue.
foot manifold. That's what it is.
Right.
Looks really good from 15 foot away.
Aye.
You get up close, and some of the welds are awful, and inside there is bits that overlap, and just bits. There's actually bits that just haven't been welded at all.
Yeah. It's just got to last
Yeah.
long enough until I can afford to get a TIG welder and a
Just
lot
weld
of
it.
stainless, and then we'll
Just
probably
MIG
have
it.
Sorry?
Just MIG it.
Well,
It's not going to rust. It's going to be red hot. Yeah.
yeah.
Could do, yeah, but I don't know. It's just one of the things that I need a
Yeah.
TIG welder anyway. Well, I don't need one.
You just want it to look
But,
pretty.
and I need a TIG welder.
Yeah.
We'll go with it. I need a TIG.
Mrs.
So-
listening. I need.
I need. We all
Mm.
need a TIG, and it has to be an AC/DC. So Christmas is coming around the corner.
Do you know? I'm going to say this once, and this is the first time you'll ever hear me say it. Paul has just been useful.
How?
Manifold's American,
Hmm?
not Chinese.
It's American.
It's from bollocks.
Yeah.
Bollocks.
If that's American build quality, you fail it.
It's premium grade Chinesium, bought by an American, resold to us.
I don't know. I don't know.
That's a shame.
He bought that for a tenner and sold it for £100, I guarantee.
You're right. Straight from Shenzhen.
That's the one.
Oh, just so many parts for Hondas though that come from Shenzhen. There's so many aftermarket parts.
Do you know what? I love it.
I
actually
love
love it.
I love a bit of premium grade Chinesium.
Yeah.
I love
So-
it.
Yeah, no, we were. I think we talked about this before, but we want to do like a pure Uncle Ben's rice build
Yeah.
and get something Jap
Yeah.
and just Chinese it.
Just go
Chinese
full
it.
send.
Yeah,
Neons.
100%. Big gear wing.
Body kit.
Yeah, Bo Suzuki
Big
exhaust.
wang.
The lot.
Bo Suzuki, yeah.
Yeah, it's happening. It's-
Weld like a
it's-
star
Yep.
on end
It's gonna
exhaust.
happen. Why?
Yeah.
Why not?
We're going to do something absolutely ridiculous.
That'd be really cool.
So,
Yeah.
On that subject, I've always wanted a K10 Micra because I think they'd look really good.
Mm.
Bo Suzuki would.
I quite like the old K10
Yeah.
micros.
The box
Um,
one.
But
Or any kind of Starlet. 'Cause they're similar
Yeah.
shapes.
Yeah. It's very.
But they're like well expensive.
very similar.
Yeah.
Like rocking horse shit.
Or a Bluebird.
yeah,
some Bluebird.
I love a good
Yeah.
Bluebird. They are good cars. Very good cars indeed. Did they come in a turbo variant?
They did. Bluebird Turbo. My old man used to work for Nissan, so that's the only reason I know.
Inside the knowledge.
Yeah, but yeah, they did come with a turbo, and that was like the halo model for UK market, even though everybody else started getting like the old like 280 and 300 ZX, you know, like the box shaped 300 ZX before we got the nice, is it the Z31 or Z30?
I'm not sure.
I can't remember the codes, but yeah, like they got them, and we got fucking Bluebird.
I mean, yeah.
I like the K11 micros. I never used to. The bubbly
They're
type ones.
proper good rally cars.
They are Marmite
Yeah.
cars though, but the main reason I like them is because I got absolutely minced by one.
Yeah,
Like, shocked the hell. I was in my old coupe, and I was just driving down the A19,
yeah,
cool as a cucumber. Saw this micro was just going a bit slow. I was like, yeah, not bad. I just went past him, pulled back in front.
What colour were it?
Green. Like really
I might
dark
know which
green.
one it is.
Anyway, I stopped for a bit. Sorry, I just carried on driving. And I just looked in my mirror. I was like, bloody hell, he's coming up fast.
Yeah.
He just goes, I was like, holy hell.
SR20.
SR20 4-wheel drive.
Oh, 4-wheel drive.
Oh, aye.
So I know someone who's got an SR21.
Aye.
Or did. I don't. So do you know who Jap Junk is?
No.
So he had an SR20 Micra.
Right.
Rotten as alt. Sold it to Leadfoot Ash. You heard of Leadfoot TV?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I've heard of
He sold it to Leadfoot.
Mm.
Leadfoot had it for a bit. I don't know if he still got it, but that were an SR20 Micra, but
Mm.
NA, so about 160 horsepower, but still in a K11 Micra, it's going to shift some.
Aye.
And but yeah, that's why we're thinking that's green. That's a dark green one
No,
with an
this is like-
SR20 in it.
It's like an out, like really like dark green, like
Yeah. That
Like
dirty
British racing
metallic.
green,
Yeah.
sort of.
Sorry?
Like almost like British racing.
Yeah.
green,
Yeah.
sort of.
Yeah. But it went past at
Yeah.
some pace, and all there was a dump valve just as he got to me
Yeah.
wing mirror. I was like,
Yeah, you
Wow.
want him there.
and then just in the distance, whoops,
Ow.
I just saw the rear diff,
Yeah.
and I was like, yeah, that is amazing. And I was like, one day, it's never happened. It's probably never will, but one day I might have to invest.
Yeah.
Aye. So after that bit of a technical difficulty, I think should we swap over?
Yeah, we can do a little swap now if you want.
Aye.
I'm gonna disappear and Paul's gonna.
No, I'm going to disappear, and Paul's going to.
I'm gonna disappear because I need to change camera batteries and stuff.
Oh.
Yeah.